Today I'm going to answer the question, does the spring game really matter? All that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. So today, I want to talk about the spring game. If you don't know, Oklahoma spring game is April 14th at 1 o'clock at Memorial Stadium. But now we're asking, does it matter, right? Because as much as we like to see the players play, and it definitely doesn't affect the regular season, it's a showcase. It's a glorified scrimmage. It's also a great way for coaches to get recruits. It's also a great way for coaches to get recruits on campus. But since Nebraska announced on Wednesday that it had sold out its spring game at a stadium that holds about 90,000 people, and that some tickets were even going for $500, there's a lot of folks that are going, why? Because does the spring game really matter? I even had some OU fans hit me up on Twitter say, I love OU, but I'm not paying $500 for a spring game ticket. And I totally support that. However, when you do look at the schools that come close to selling out their spring games or fill it to near capacity, those schools are usually pretty good. I mean, in 2017, Ohio State, Penn State, Alabama, and yes, Nebraska all scored more than 70,000 fans to their respective spring games. Now, the only team that was not in contention at one point or another to play in the college football playoff in 2017 that also hit that 70,000 mark in attendance for spring game was Nebraska. But now that Nebraska has Scott Frost, they believe that they're on the up and up, and why shouldn't they? Scott Frost is an excellent coach, completely flipped around a Central Florida program that is 2017 national champ. Fight me. But Lincoln Riley has also said that it matters. Look, he knows that OU routinely draws 45,000 fans, and that's good. I mean, we rank in the top 10 most of the time. But he wants to change the culture. He wants to change the culture of the spring game. But it's hard to do, right? Because you're not going to see a whole lot. You're probably not going to see a bunch of the players that you want to see play. You're going to see some really vanilla offenses. And this year, you're probably not going to see as much Kyler Murray as you would want to because he's playing baseball. However, the spring game still does matter. And it matters for that reason that I mentioned earlier, which is recruiting. Recruits want to know that they'll be playing in front of large crowds. They want to know that they're playing on national television. They want to know that fans care. And we still live in a world where the best way to show anybody that you care about football is going to games. Nobody cares if you're hitting up their Twitter mentions. You're just blowing them up and yelling at them. That's not putting your money where your mouth is. So yes, it matters, but not for any of the reasons that they would have you believe that it matters. Not because you're going to see an excellent product, not because the spring game is a unique experience, but because it sells recruits. The podcast is up now. The bi-weekly podcast that patrons willed into existence. It's called Woosah. You can find a link to it in the description below. It's on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn. Bi-weekly, it's gonna be between a half an hour and an hour most of the time. So hit me in the comments below.